Welcome back to Newcastle and live coverage on talkSPORT 2 of night one of the 2026 PDC Premier League darts, where we have now finished the quarter-final stages. Michael van Gerwen just about getting through his contest with Stephen Bunting. He was in a bit of trouble at the start, but then reeled off 6 consecutive legs to make sure he's got a battle with Luke Humphries in the second semi-final on night one of the Premier League in 2026. Chris Mason's alongside me, the asset Paul Nicholson, and now that we have MVG in the semi-finals, we have to talk about not just the good play of MVG in that match, but the way that the points are allocated for the players if they win matches. If you turn up and play in the quarters, you do not get any points if you do not win your quarter-final, but if you do win your first game, you get 2 points on the ladder. When you're in the semi-finals, it's 1 point for making the final, which makes 3 for the night. If you win the whole thing, you get 5 points and a £10,000 bonus.
Yeah, and I think, Nico, we've seen so much evidence over the years. I mean, we've been doing we've been following the Premier League since day dot, but obviously commentating on it. And when someone makes a dodgy, it's very hard. You're constantly looking up. Everyone's looking down on you. We've seen it last year with Bunty. 8 consecutive weeks, wasn't it? It's very, very hard. And for someone like Michael, who's a little fragile at the moment, that wasn't just a win. That was an important win for me.
And even though Belgium is next week, Antwerp will be week number 2. I have a sneaky suspicion that new venue might just be an equaliser for the experienced Premier League campaigners and the debutants.
Yeah, so quite possibly, but it's not that far from the Netherlands, so I think Michael will have they don't get to see him on home territory very often, do they? What is it, twice a year now, outside of the big gala event? So I think, there's obviously, without stating the obvious, there's no players from Belgium in it, so the ones that they're going to come out and support will be Michael. It's going to be fascinating, and I'm with you in one way. When you're in new venues, everyone's you're always the same. And we stress to new players at the Worlds, get there a day earlier, have a mooch about, find how you get from your players area to your practice area, from there to the stage, find out where your drinks go, find out where the toilets are, get all that done, because you don't want to be thinking about that when you're playing a game.
Well, let's focus on our first semi-final in a second, but Michael van Gerwen averaging over 100 in his first game, and he does like Newcastle, by the way. That was his 16th game at the Utilita Arena over the course of his Premier League career, which started back in 2013, and he's won 11 of his 16 games. That is a really, really impressive win ratio. Yeah,
I mean, his winning record in Premier League around that era was incredible. What's he won it 7 times now? That's remarkable, especially in the company he was playing in. Like I said at the top of the show, no one's reinventing the wheel here, and a lot of this now comes down to, I don't like to use the word bravery, but it's something we talk about a lot. You've got to put yourself in a winning position, and you've got to take your chances. And a lot of these players have the ability and the scoring power to get themselves in winning positions. It's when you get there, it's what you do with it.
And I don't want to get too much into the personal lives of dart players as well, but we know that some players have their struggles away from these big stages. But the one thing that can really cheer you up is winning.
Yes.
And that's something that Michael van Gerwen can do over the next few weeks. Winning will make him feel better, and that's why Vincent van der Voort, his closest friend in the world, has said, you go out there, you work hard, you get wins, it will make you feel better.
Yeah, copium, isn't it? They even getting to finals just ain't enough for us or them. The only result that they want, and that matters, is winning, and that's what it comes down to. There's nothing else gives you as a sportsman more pleasure than winning, and especially winning it in style. How often have we seen players win tournaments? I'm not really happy the way I played. Even that's not enough sometimes.
Michael van Gerwen is the only person over the last 15 years who I've heard say that is my worst tournament win, when he won the Dutch Darts Masters in Venray against a certain Justin Pipe of Somerset, and he said that's the worst tournament win of my career. What a thing to say when you've just dominated a tournament. But he's into the semi-finals here in Newcastle. on talkSPORT 2 tonight. We've got 3 more games for your darting enjoyment.
For free.
Indeed. And on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. So if you want to join us there and like and subscribe, we would appreciate it, because we'd love to bring you more content over the course of 2026. We now, though, have to look at the first semi-final between Jonny Clayton and Gian van Veen, and they will be feeling very chipper about having 2 points on the ladder mace. And Clayton putting in his second best ever Premier League performance in that quarter-final with Josh Rock, and therefore justifying his inclusion in this Premier League from the off.
Yeah, I agree, and if there was any doubt, that's how you make a statement. And, well, although Bunty played okay, what did he average? 97, 59. Again, it's a good performance, but it's a losing performance, and he has to find a way of shaking that off. Can he do it? Absolutely. The guy's super talented. You don't do what he did or has done in the world of darts if you're not super talented, but maybe it's just this environment or this format just doesn't suit his style of play, Nico. That can happen. If
you want a little bit of insight into how hard Premier League life is going to be over the next 16 weeks, in the quarterfinals, the lowest average was 94.92. That would be good enough to win world titles in the 90s, the 80s, the 10s, the noughties. But these days, on the best boards ever created, with the best preparation that's possible for these elite guys, and the girls, of course, because Bo Greaves is going to be on the tour this year, it is hard to win darts matches against the best in the world.
Yeah, and the manufacturing of the equipment they use, not only the boards, everything's gone up a level. I actually got a set of Van Veen's darts now when I was down at the Masters, just to have a closer look at them. And
how are your fingers feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right. What I've done is actually I've given them to the lads to practice with in the pub tonight. You just get 8 hours of darts with those and get them just... They are incredible, but they're beautifully made. And that's the thing, these players now, they have people that they'll speak to them and go, right, this is what I want. And they'll try, no, that's not it, I want this. No. Until we had to just take them out of the box, effectively, or sort of come up with an idea and say, well, they're a bit like that, but I want them like this. And that was all you got. Now you're getting custom fitted. You know, it's like having John Paris make you a snooker cue. You know, that process takes a year, because you've got to go back for the weight, the length, the weight, the tip, the size, and that's exactly what they're doing with darts now. And you know, no doubt it's the same with football boots. They don't have to just take them out of the box and put them on. Yeah. Golf club, well, again, close to your heart, Nico. I mean, the engineering in golf clubs now, where they're weighted, and the length and the thickness of the grip, it's all part of the process to make you an elite sportsman.
They put F1 cars in speed tunnels with wind going over them for aerodynamics. They do that with drivers, some of these companies around the world, but I'm going to blow your mind with this statistic because I know you don't know this. I learned very recently that because of the intricacy of the Gian van Veen dart, they can only make 80 sets a day. No more.
No.
Not 81, not 79.
The lathe and the machinery can't take it or something.
Exactly. It is so precise.
I didn't know it was that few, because they could run probably 10,000 sets of mine at an hour.
They can run thousands of sets if the intricacy is not massive. But with Van Veen's darts, if you want to set them, they are very expensive, but they are what he needs to succeed. And he's already succeeded in Premier League darts by beating Littler tonight. If he goes one further and into a first final here in Newcastle, this will be the ideal start for the new world number 3.
Yeah, and again, that's it. It's given them the best opportunity to produce. Well, here we are, semi-final number 1. Jonny Clayton taking on Gian van Veen.
It's now time to welcome back the former Premier League champion, a winner of the World Grand Prix, and 2-time World Cup winner. Here's Johnny, the Ferret, Jonny Clayton.
We've got a new dartboard on the wall, we've got a new MC. Are we going to get a new winner in Newcastle? 4 times this format has been played at the Utilita Arena on the banks of the Tyne. First winner was Michael Smith back in 2022. Gerwin Price the year after that. Michael van Gerwen in 2024 beating Nathan Aspinall by 6 legs to 4. And last year Littler went crazy against Humphreys, who's never won in Newcastle in his Premier League career, but neither is Jonny Clayton. Now that he's back, he would like to start with a perfect first night. He's up the steps onto the stage now, and he's going to be taking on Van Veen, who's about to walk back into the arena.
Yeah, there's certain players you think, or you feel it's essential they make a good start to the campaign, something to build on.
And now his opponents from the Netherlands into the semi-finals of his debut evening. Here's the reigning European champion and a World Championship finalist. It's the giant Gian van Veen.
I think he's enjoying Premier League life already. He's got a win under his belt against the world #1. It's going to be a tiring 3 to 4 months for the giant from the Netherlands. But curiously, nobody is getting a home game tonight in Newcastle, but all of these players in this campaign will get a home night at some point. Clayton gets Cardiff, GVB gets Rotterdam, where Michael van Gerwen said recently to the talkSPORT network he doesn't like playing the most.
Wow, that surprises me.
I wonder what Van Veen's going to think of Rotterdam when we go there later in the campaign. But it's going to be Clayton with the darts in the first semi-final, and he would love to put in the same kind of performance that he had against the other debutant in Josh Rock, who gets Belfast. That's going to be fun. Yeah,
that'll be fireworks. I think they've been a fairly neutral crowd tonight, haven't they? They've given them all an opportunity to go and perform, and I think they've enjoyed every minute of it, and rightly so. No more so than this man's performance in round 1 against the other debutant, Josh Rock, who did play very well but just got blitzed. He was not far off being unplayable there, Clayton.
Well, if we get a Clayton Humphreys final in Newcastle, they will do battle for the £10,000 and the extra 2 points with identical records in Newcastle in their Premier League careers. They will play in different semi-finals, but they've both, Clayton and Humphreys, played 5 times and won 3 times. Van Veen, he's 100%. Played 1, won 1. Is that about to be doubled? He's going to have to break Jonny Clayton to get through this semi-final for 1 extra point and the chance to be the night 1 winner. Clayton off in our first leg with his red moulded flights and his barrels, which are about a year old now. He changed them about this time last year.
He did, yeah. Question here, if GVB darts are engineered specifically to his requirements, why would anyone else want them anyway? Well, the same reasons millions of sets of darts are sold every year of different players. Nathan Aspinall's lovely, well-balanced dart. Anybody can throw those. The only aspect to these which wouldn't suit the vast majority of players, Paul, is point length.
Absolutely, it's a very long point length.
Once you find a nicely crafted barrel that has good balance and that the weight is distributed, you then add in your point, which is weight, which has got to match stem length, flight size, flight weight. Don't rubbish everything that's out there, otherwise no one would buy a set of darts. You'd all be making custom ones. But
Gian van Veen actually had these long points which have a lot of grip towards the top. They were specifically balanced and engineered in Wales because if he'd put 1 or 2 more grooves in, they would have been too fragile when hitting the ball. They would have snapped.
Correct.
A lot of precision engineering goes into the modern day equipment. And curiously, both players on the hockey right now, Clayton and Van Veen, their darts are made by the same company.
Yeah. No doubt designed by the same fella who I've seen at the weekend.
Van Veen has got 80 for the first leg and to break with Clayton on 44 tops. Misses it just a little bit low, doesn't like that last dart whatsoever. So Clayton has a little bit of that Motown you were talking about.
Yes, and he will go. What's he doing? 12 double 16, Johnny. Come on, son.
Motown B-side. That's what we'll call that one. It's not 4 tops. It is 12 and double 16 for a 1-0 lead, and he does hold through in the first leg.
We've got a certain amount of symmetry tonight in our semi-finals. These two have played each other 4 times. a win apiece in 2023 and a win apiece in 2025, so 2-2.
Yes, 2-2 it is between these two in their second game of the night. And when it comes to Humphreys and Van Gerwen, it's 16 games apiece in their head-to-head record.
That's remarkable.
83.
But not in Premier League. There's quite a wide mark in that.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in due course. Van Veen's on 2-2-1 and he's off to a flyer here in leg number 2. Troubleless visit leaves 161 though, with Clayton back on 3-3-5, but he's not going to be there for very long. He's not going to be pointing his ferret finger to the camera right now, but he is going to be a little bit closer to the finishing zone on 210.
97.
That's okay from Van Veen, down to 64. Clayton 1-0 up from 210, finds the treble 20. Twice, doesn't find a max.
16's all the way for Van Veen, but he gets a treble 7. Then a big 11, that's right in the middle, leaves him on double 16, and he does find it. One of the best shooters on double 16 in the world. He's not quite Ryan Joyce, who's from just down the road.
Oh, and Brian might be there tonight, actually. Wouldn't surprise me if he's popped along.
Yes, a lot of these dart players who are playing tonight in night 1 of the Premier League will be jetting their way to Germany on Sunday to go to the first Players' Championship doubleheader on Monday and Tuesday. Some of the players might start looking at where they can take constructed breaks, but I would imagine the vast majority will be playing next week ahead of Antwerp in week 2. First time Belgium will ever host a Premier League night next Thursday.
On the YouTube, people interested in regards to the dynamics of having darts designed. This guy here saying he had some Jim Pikes back in the 70s. I've got a couple of sets of those at home. They are enormous. You might get 3 in these boards. You found it very hard back in the day with the old wires.
Clayton's looking for a 161, and you can't start that with a 1. And then he goes into the 5. That is a bit wild, but Van Veen's back on 220 and only 26, so the best in the world can still score 26.
Absolutely, egg and chips. Half a crown, bed and breakfast, whichever way you want to call it. But Van Veen's back on 220, puts a bit of a hole in it. Clayton 135. We'll see him go for the ball here. Well, that was a 3, and it was probably, Nico, a good couple of inches south.
Yeah, that was a bit like.
This is what happens when you lose your time in a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a bit like the bullseye shots from Josh Rock earlier tonight. He was terrible on the bullseye. As for Van Veen, he's not able to get the treble 20 he needed for the 120 effort, but he does get treble 16 at the back end to leave 32 again. Clayton needs to hit this 92. If he doesn't, he's going to be 2-1 down. Big 20. Now what's he going to do with a blocked 60? Where does he go? 16s?
He couldn't make up his mind. He looked down, looked up, looked down, and ended up opted for 2 double 18s. That usually doesn't work out. Van Veen double 16 left of the target, makes the adjustment and gets the first break of throw.
It's getting to the stage in Van Veen's career where everybody knows how good he is on double 16, and especially when they see that marker just on the outside. We're seeing players turn around as if to say he's going to hit that end of leg. And that's exactly what happened as he takes a 2-1 lead.
And especially the way his dart's going, because they do angle slightly to the left, and you think that's perfect. It just anywhere near it, it slides down, it goes in.
Not the best game that we've seen and heard on talkSPORT 2 tonight, but Van Veen is running at a 95-96 average. Clayton has left his best darts in the practice room.
He's 23 points off the pace of that performance in round 1, and he has done a bit of this in the last year or so. There's no real, well, we talk about it, the range between best and worst, it's too big.
Absolutely right. In this Premier League, you might be able to get away with a little bit of a range, but against the best in the world, not so much. Maybe your range can be about 15, and the only reason it's so much is because your top performance might be as high as 115.
Yes.
Now 1-4 for Van Veen comes down by A one treble score to leave 78. Clayton's going to shrink his with a 140 to leave 120. Game on. 2-1 to Van Veen.
Too little, too late for me. Single 20. Tops for 3-1. Consolidate the break. Ooh. Now, can Clayton take out 120?
Van Veen could not take it out in the previous leg. Let's see if Clayton can find the single. He does. He's got a clear tops for 2-2. He's just a little bit over the top, giving Gian of the Netherlands, the Dutch #1, double 10. He needs to hit it with the last dart. He's missed it twice to the right, slightly higher and more left, giving Clayton a freebie with 40 left in leg 4.
Well, semi-finals are hard to win, Nico. Believe it or not. Well, that was a long old leg, but ultimately it's a break back for Clayton. I don't even know how many darts that was because I stopped counting.
Doesn't really matter at this stage.
No.
But it's a 17 darter, and Jonny has got his throw back. After losing it, he has regained it immediately. And in this format of best of 11, if you are broken, if you don't recover quickly, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you've almost got to instantly break back, haven't you?
A bit like getting punched in the face in the boxing ring. You've just got to
punch back,
absorb it, and then punch back.
Yeah, well, like you say, depending on in the early stages, but we sort of tend to think about legs 7 and 8, because if there's a break there, before you know it, they're a leg away or they're on it.
396 for Clayton. He's got the darts in this 5th leg. He's going to need to do something rather effective from here. That 96 score gets him to 300. And Van Veen's already below that, switching to the 19s. He gets 96 himself as well, but he's 96 ahead.
Someone saying here, don't like the board, a couple of bounce darts on clean shot. Unless they hit the wire, they can't bounce out. There's nothing for them to hit to go on the floor unless they hit another dart. I'm not quite sure. How that works.
Well, that was aggressive from Van Veen.
It was.
He could have gone for the bullseye to leave a 2-darter.
Correct.
He's decided to gamble on the 16. It didn't pay off. He's left 105. Clayton's on 215, and he doesn't even leave a finish. 2 single 5s and a 20 to leave 185. And Van Veen's got a chance of breaking again on double 16 for 105. It's just a little bit left of target, but he will return.
Yeah, it was on the money, that, wasn't it? It was a well-thrown dart, and he'll be back. Clayton 185, 2-2. This could be our 3rd consecutive break of throw after opening with 2 solid holds.
Oh, he's missed double 16 way to the right. He's got a marker on double 8, though. Dart 3 coming in, and he sneaks it in there with the last shot to take a 3-2 lead. And it's 3 consecutive breaks of throw now. Live on the talkSPORT network, Premier League darts. Night 1, Newcastle. We are getting to the thick end of the stick. A place where Van Veen has not been before, and Clayton has many, many times before.
Yes, he's got the T-shirt and the trophy, Nico.
And the check. Biggest check of his career was winning this back in 2021. Well, £250,000.
Yeah, the only bigger check was the Worlds, wasn't it? That was it.
Indeed. And Jonny Clayton has won the league phase as well the next year when he was defending champion, but he wouldn't defend the trophy.
123.
This is better from Clayton. 140 backed up by a 2 treble turn. Van Veen, though, from 227. That was interesting, Nico. I'm not sure about leaving 131, are you?
Yeah, I don't like leaving 131 any day of the week, never mind Thursday nights.
Especially when he had options with dart 3 to leave something 130 and under, which means you only need 1 treble in the combination.
Clayton's left 138, and he is going to get a look at it now. What Van Veen is going to do is leave himself on tops. Clayton needs 138. He's not going to get it. Small 19. Then he gets the treble. 1 dart too late. Single 10. He's 52.
He's in a spot above it here, Paul.
Tops. Van Veen misses it low. Double 10. This time finds it with his first attempt, and he's 4-2 in front now, and he's taking to Premier League life like a Geordie is to going to various pubs around St James's Park.
Yeah, he never sort of come across as a player that would be overruled by anything. I could sort of see Josh Rock feeling it a little bit. All in all, I mean, they've all produced brilliant darts and played admirably, has to be said. And we've still got 2 more games to bring you after this one.
Do you know what, Mace? There's a lot of chat about debutants not knowing how to cope with Premier League life. What they tend to forget is that Jonny Clayton won this tournament on debut. And Michael van Gerwen was right at the start of his Premier League career succeeding. So some people actually take to it better than other aspects of PDC darts.
Yeah, I think now with the European tours being so big, they're so used to now playing in front of big crowds. But the Premier League is just something a little bit special, isn't it?
So is this game. It's turning into something special. That 138 score from Clayton leaves him tops after 12. Van Veen's looking to do the same from 180 here. The 140 is found with a beautiful last dart in the right corner. It's a tops off here. Both are 40. Clayton needs double 10 with his second dart, or third, and he can't find it, which means Van Veen could break again to establish a 5-2 lead.
I think dart 2 was too close, Paul. He's on the wire at tops, and this is awkward because his darts lay down. That is remarkable. That defied physics, Nico.
Somebody get Richard Feynman on the phone. I want to know how that went in. That is a ridiculous dart. That's like Steve Harmison bowling middle stump with a stump in the way.
Yeah, they were led down, and he raised his eyebrows. He's just sort of thrown that and thought, well, if I find the middle, it might just scoop under.
I've got a new nickname for Gian van Veen. I'm going to call him Moses. He's just parted 2 darts and taken leg 7.
Yeah, he's not parted water, he's parted tungsten.
No, now Clayton's on a 9-darter. Van Veen hits him with a 180 back, and Clayton has got 4 perfect darts and 5. Needs a 6th. Doesn't get it. It's just a little bit of a gap between the 2 darts. He couldn't quite land it.
Yeah, and he just walked on dart 3 as well. He was trying to just drop it on. They both throw very well. They're below flat, aren't they, or below horizontal to the ground?
Yes, this is a stage with 2 players on it where they're both stacking darts.
Yeah, this is a stack off
for the match. 131 for Van Veen again. He's got the 51 this time. Tops gets the first one. He should hit the second, and he's just a little bit over. He just misses it by 2 millimeters.
Wait, it took a bit of material off. It was that close, but the treble 20's found on 98. Double 19, it's a great lie. Oh, it was a beautiful guide. All he had to do was just drop it up. Well, all he had to do. It's actually quite hard, but they make it easy. That was beautiful. He has had a match dart, Van Veen, and the way that landed, it couldn't have been any lower in the tops. It was perfect. If you said to him, right, tops, you've got 1 dart left, put the dart where you want it, it'd have been somewhere there.
Absolutely right. That's why he was so disappointed at not winning the match 6-2 right there. But this game is still alive. 5-3 to Van Veen, and Clayton's got the darts here in leg number 9 of this first semi-final on talkSPORT 2. He's got to fend off the Ferret, who's still hitting maximums. He's had a bucket full tonight.
He has, and that's not normally part of his game, as they're trading the maxis in leg 9. Van Veen leads 5-3, 2-7-8. Clayton from 2-6-2.
What are you doing, Jonny? 2-6-2. He stays on the 20s, and he's left 1-6-2. The first bogey number bingo shot of 2026. But at least he's got 6 darts from here.
Yes, no damage done, because Van Veen only with a ton, and he's found a treble. 82 left, should be ball. Well, that's what he went for, and was nowhere near. Small 7.
That was a lazy dart from Clayton. He was just a bit out of position, and he just needed to stand back and reset. He didn't. He's now got 75 to save the match. Van Veen's not particularly close here on 120, but it is a doable shot if Clayton misses double 12. He's missed it just high for 75, but he nestles the next one in expertly. That was exquisite from Jonny Clayton to make it 5-4 down, and now he's got to break Van Veen to survive again.
Well, it won on another max for Van Veen, and he's getting involved with the finger pointing.
Was that a little bit of housery there from Van Veen?
Don't want to start with that young man.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is poke the ferret.
Yeah, don't poke a ferret. Jeez.
Lines you don't expect to see in commentary. We're not going to get a 9-darter from Van Veen in this leg. He has to settle for 99 off the back of the maximum.
Yeah, that's
that Richie Benno score again. 222.
Yeah, all the twos. Well, the matches tonight have been... they've not been quackers, they've been crackers.
Clayton will believe that it's game over now. Van Veen's not missing. 222. Shrinks by another 180 score to leave 42. And the worst part about that for Clayton is that Van Veen can leave double 16.
Yeah, and he can't leave a finish from 3-3-9. Shouldn't be leaving it.
Might have to settle for 2 points in Newcastle. As for Van Veen, it may be 3 minimum. It will be 3. Premier League life for GVV is rather good. His biggest rival in darts is out at his hands. He's beaten Littler earlier, and now he's beaten the former champion from 2021. And he will contest the first final in 2026. As for who he's going to be up against, it could be someone that he loves to play in Luke Humphries. But maybe he might go up against Michael van Gerwen, who beat him in Bahrain just a few weeks ago. Mace, that was a very good performance from Van Veen, and he did somewhat fluctuate up and down in that match, but found the right shots at the right times.
Yeah, I think they both did, didn't they? It was a really poor start from Jonny, and he left himself a bit to do in the end. I enjoyed that, but I like seeing Van Veen being tested in different areas, because some players play the game one way, other players play the other. It's not a case sometimes just going up there. You've got to manage the situation, you've got to manage tempos and rhythms. I thought he did that very well, showed a lot of maturity. Jonny Clayton to be absolutely devastated to average nearly 110 and then pop in a 94. That's that range we talk about, Nico, and that needs work.
Absolutely right. He now looks to Antwerp next Thursday night. Van Veen looks to the final. He gets a breather, as do we on talkSPORT 2. We'll take a short break now, but when we come back, it is going to be Luke Humphries against the 7-time Premier League champion MVG. It is 16-all in their head-to-head record, but it's a little bit different when they play Premier League darts. We'll tell you all about that after this on talkSPORT 2 from Premier League darts in Newcastle.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move. This is talkSPORT 2. Sunday afternoon.